This is your Daily 5 for Thursday, May 21st, 2026. During the most recent of the frequent PlayStation sales, I mean, honestly, at this point, I think all the video game sellers basically have adopted the Steam model of let's just have a sale every other month and sells people stuff for reduced prices. But anyway, one of the available games was Star Wars Outlaws. And I remember when that game came out, which I think it said it came out in 2024. I did not realize this was a 2-year-old game. But in any event, I remember when it came out, it reviewed okay. I don't remember a lot of glowing reviews. I don't remember a lot of bad reviews. And I don't know why that is. It's probably a combination of factors. Probably some Star Wars property saturation because there's so much stuff being cranked out by Disney. I would almost bet money that when it launched, it had technical issues because every video game does now. And I'm sure there were a group of boneheads who just could not take playing a video game where the lead was a female. Oh my God, how could I ever enjoy such a game? Morons. So I'm assuming it was kind of a combination of that. Because again, I don't remember really terrible reviews, but I don't also remember a lot of good reviews of it. And now, 2 years on, where I assume the technical stuff has been patched, or at least to the point where I haven't had any problems with it. And now that Disney has seemingly slowed down a little bit on the Star Wars stuff, I figured, let me pick it up because it was under $30. I think it was $27 on PlayStation for one of the editions that came with the DLC and the season pass and all that stuff. Some cosmetics too, but I don't really care about that. Cosmetics don't mean anything to me. Certainly not enough to pay for just them, but they were included, so whatever. And of course, 2 days later, I think it was, Sony announced they were going to include it in the PlayStation Network catalog. So, but that's the base version without the DLC. So I don't really care. It's fine. And I've been playing it. I'm probably 10 to 12 hours in. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. Honestly, this feels like the closest to classic Star Wars that I've gotten in a while. Even though I really like those Star Wars Visions anthologies, this feels the closest to the original movies in terms of the story, the setting, the sound design. Oh, the sound design is just, it's the one thing about Star Wars that for whatever other problems you might have, man, Star Wars nails sound design, and this game certainly does too. Great soundtrack, wonderful sound effects that are just that classic Star Wars stuff with the blaster sounds, the speeder thing that you're on, just the general atmosphere of the game just is so sonically Star Wars. It is so nice. It is such a reliable thing in Star Wars. Even the bad movies had good sound design. So that's one thing that, like I said, I can't think of a bad sound design example in Star Wars. The setup is you're basically playing a Han Solo type character. This is a young woman who is sort of a low-level criminal, and she gets involved in some hijinks that go south, and now she's trying to hide out and escape, and the Empire is around, and there's different criminal organizations, and you're doing jobs for them, and depending on who you're working for, you might irritate one of the other factions, or you can try to work for them all, and you're essentially just trying to escape the life that you're stuck in. The very, very familiar basic setup for a lot of these games. And it is, in case this is something you don't like, it is an Ubisoft game in that there is a big map, there's lots of little checkpoints, and the game has a lot of stupid things for you to do. So that may either entice you or it may repel you. The basic story so far, again, feels very classic Star Wars because it is, they're using the Han Solo / Lando Calrissian archetype for the main character. She has a little pet. She can go in and do stealth. She can go in and blast everything. So you get a couple different ways to approach most missions. And the world that you're set on, at least so far, does feel like a very grassy Star Wars planet. So it's not just another desert planet. It's not Tatooine number 56 or anything like that. And so far, no technical issues. So I assume all that stuff has been patched if there were those issues early on. And it's a fun game. I don't know how else to say it. If I paid $60 for it, I'd probably still be happy about it, but I'm really happy I didn't. I don't pay $60 for almost any game anymore. And if you're on the PlayStation Network and you have a subscription, you can download it as part of your package, so you can get it for essentially nothing or the cost of your subscription. I played the demo on Steam. Didn't buy it on Steam because I didn't want the Ubisoft launcher on my machine, but I remember enjoying the demo. That's why I decided to get it on PlayStation. And honestly, it's been a lot of fun. There's lots of little kind of Easter eggy stuff, but nothing over the top. And just the general gameplay is familiar because I'm fine with Ubisoft games. I've played a lot of them, so I'm familiar with how they work. I like how they work. And it's just nice to be back into something that feels like that classic Star Wars thing that I grew up with. So combine that with a game that's fun to play, and yeah, if you've been holding off or skipped it, Star Wars Outlaws might be worth a look. Later.